Hi, my name is Jacob Brock. I'm the creator of Duckpin Derby, and today I'm going to show you how to play my game. So basically, Duckpin Derby is a bowling / duck feeding hybrid simulator. And that might sound a little crazy, but hopefully it'll make a little more sense soon. Basically, there are 2 modes for this game. Each mode can be played by up to 4 players locally using the same device. Those modes are a standard game in which each player plays 10 frames, like a normal game of bowling, and then there is the quick game mode, which will consist of 5 frames. So, before we get into it, I wanted to explain to you all how the scoring system works. So, basically, there are 3 different objects that you will interact with in each game. Those are white bread, which you can see in the top row, wheat bread, which you can see in the middle and bottom row on the left side, and efalescence, which you can see in the bottom row on the right side. So basically, for every piece of white bread that you eat, you will earn 1 point. For every piece of wheat bread that you eat, you will double the amount of points that you already have. And if you eat 2 pieces of wheat bread, or 1 efalescent, it will end your frame. So the idea of the game is to eat as much white bread as you possibly can before you start eating wheat bread to double your points and end the frame. So now that we have that explanation out of the way, let's get into a game. So right now we're at the stage select screen. There are several stages to choose from. These first 2 come out of the box. They're unlocked automatically. This stage that we're going to go with is one of the stages that is unlocked by an achievement. And so now we're at the character select screen. As you can see, you have fully customizable costumes here available to you. I am playing the premium version, so I am going to go with Lord Crumley. Lord Crumley is one of 2 costume packs that you unlock with the premium version. I already have my name set up here, so we're ready to go. Okay, so this is the basic score screen. You see the player name and the number of frames and the total. If this were a multiplayer game, you would see, of course, multiple rows, 1 for each player. So let's get into it. Okay, so as we start, we try collecting as many pieces of white bread as we can. Now you want to avoid the wheat bread early on, and you always want to avoid the efalescence. But part of the challenge is that as you eat more pieces of white bread, 2 things will happen. So the game will speed up, which happens subtly, but you might be noticing it now. And also the chance of an efalescent or wheat bread being produced increases. So as each frame goes on, you're managing your risk. So right now I'm at about 63 points, 64, 65. So this is probably a good point where I want to start eating wheat bread. And there you go. That's not a bad frame. So, when you're in a multiplayer setting, a lot of times you're going to want to sort of look at the way that other players are, how they're doing, right? And sort of strategize based on that. If you're beating someone by a lot of points, you won't necessarily want to take a big risk on getting, 280, 300, even 400 points. Right? It might make sense for you to just get as many points as it takes to keep a comfortable lead. And that way your opponent will be forced into the opposite scenario. Conversely, if you're down by a lot, you're going to want to take on more risk and try to get more points, but like I said, the game will speed up. You'll have more efalescence, and the chance of eating an efalescent and kind of spinning out increase, right? So it's as much a game of risk management as it is of reflexes. So I think in this frame, I'm going to go for broke and see how many points I can get. I'm going to go for 400. Once you hit 50 points, I'd say, without eating any wheat bread, the game really does speed up noticeably. In fact, I can notice it already. But if you're shooting for 400 or somewhere in that range, you really have to be in the zone. You really have to be focused on the game and what you're doing, because it does demand your attention if you're going for a really high score. So I'm going to shut up now. Because we're at that point. Oh, there you go. I didn't see that EFOL lesson and kind of mistimed it, and at that point the frame ended immediately. So that's a good illustration of, you know, the increased risks that you take as you go for higher scores. This game has about 22 unlockable achievements, and each of those achievements will unlock either a costume or a stage. Also, it has local and online leaderboard support, and that local leaderboards are tracked across multiple devices using Google Drive. Here we might actually get 400 here. There you go. Last time I shut up to focus on the game, and this time I was talking and actually managed to get over 400 points. It's not bad. But like I was saying, there is functionality in this game that will allow you to save your leaderboard and your local achievements across multiple devices. As long as you have Google Play Games and Google Drive enabled and you grant permissions to the game, you'll be able to save that information across all of the devices that you use. And that's a quick overview of how to play Duckpin Derby. For more content, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can find links to all of our social media feeds at shohinstudios.com. Thanks for watching.